Hey, this is Rhonda A. White, and I want to welcome you to another session of I Am P.A.T.E.N.T. It's been so great so far, and I'm grateful for all of my different come on and been a blessing. I know I'm tired today. I've been traveling, kind of ran in the house to try to get this done for this next session recording, but I'm happy that you are here, and I hope that you've had an amazing week so far. So on today's session of I Am P.A.T.E.N.T., we're going to dive into I Am Tenacious, understanding what it means to be tenacious. It means to be, I Am P.A.T.E.N.T. is a movement all built around you, a movement to help you understand that you have the exclusive right to be you. You have the exclusive right to be in control of you. You have the exclusive right to patent you. That means you have the exclusive right to be powerful, to be your authentic self, to be tenacious, to be electrifying, to be oh so necessary, and to be the trendsetter. So I want to get started because I'm so excited about our guest today, and I want to dive right into it and introduce you to my friend and just my business partner. We serve together in a mastermind group together. I've been known her for a little bit of time here, and I just love her spirit. If you need to follow our guest because her story is amazing. But anyway, allow me to introduce you to Miss Luquette McCleary. She's a wife, a mother. She's a licensed professional counselor and the executive clinical director, owner of Youth and Family Services right here in Oklahoma City. She is a profound and respected leader within this community. Despite the adversities of being molested, witnessing domestic violence, being a teen mother, homeless, being abandoned by her parents due to incarceration and substance abuse, Luquette persevered in life, earning her bachelor's in criminal justice from Langston University. She's still determined as she was back then. She continues to excel, and she received her Master's of Human Relations from the University of Oklahoma. She's dedicated to the greater good for her community and the American, as she's a member of the American Council Association in Oklahoma. She's loyal to her purpose of uplifting those in need. Began her career with the Department of Human Services in 2006 with a passion and faith. Luquette climbed the ladder of success and was promoted to supervisor of child welfare. Luquette established herself within the therapeutic community and is well respected by her colleagues and those that she served. She has raised the bar in quality and superb mental health care for individuals, families, and children who walk through the doors of her business, Full Circle Youth and Family Service. She is fervent about helping others get the victory with working through and overcome challenges, trauma, sexual abuse, parenting issues, childhood challenges, depression, and anxiety. And she believes that the start of change is through self-awareness. I am so excited to have Miss Luquette McCleary on our call today, and welcome.
Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you for that lovely introduction.
You are so welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Well, I want to dive right into being tenacious because I learned your story not quite a year ago. And you hear people's stories all the time. Your story is one story that sticks to me. Your story, I remember you sitting over there on my couch telling your story, and it has stuck with me. It has stuck with me. And I always tell people, you never know what people, what they walk through. You don't know their life story until they share it with you. And being tenacious, or the affirmation of saying is the right one for you. Because I don't know if I know someone else who walked through the journey or wore the shoes that you wore and is that determined in life. So I'm going to hand it over to you. I want you to share with us just about that walk, about being determined, being tenacious in your own life.
Thank you, Rhonda. Okay, well, I want to start with Genesis 50:20. And it says that you intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. And so I feel like that scripture is for a tenacious person. You have to be tenacious. You have to be determined. When people are trying to harm you, you can allow, what the devil meant to harm you to keep you in a pit, or you can be tenacious and to be determined not to give up, to hang in there, to face your problems head on. A tenacious person, we overcome and accomplish, God's design for our life. And so I just feel like the trials that we go through, it just makes our faith that much stronger in him. And so I'm just determined never to give up. And I just want others to be determined and just be tenacious about not giving up, about persevering on, with things that may go on in their life, And I'm so glad that you have me on this webinar. It's just an honor to be able to serve our people, to serve, people who may be walking my journey, now. I truly believe that this message is for somebody. And I just want them to know that I want them to succeed. And I know they want to succeed. And, and sometimes it just seems like we can't get out of that pit. Sometimes we try to make that pit comfortable. Because we can't get out of it, we'll just make it comfortable. We'll bring, the furniture into the pit. We'll bring, the TV and the pictures into the pit. And we have to quit making that pit comfortable because we need to get out of it. And there are just, various ways that we can be thrown into a pit, by people, our circumstances, our very own actions. A sudden tragedy can occur, violent crimes, rape, molestation, suffering from a loved one who's suffering with mental illness. We see it every day where, a parent has 3 kids, and it seems like they're pouring more into this one child that's suffering with mental illness, and they're in this pit because the other 2 children are not getting the attention that they need and they deserve. And, just having alcohol abuse issues, adultery, abandonment by your parents, life-threatening diseases, house fires, financial losses, and the list, it goes on and on about these pits that we can get into, whether we're thrust into it or we create the pit. And I truly believe, Rhonda, that God has called us to build up the kingdom of God and to plant seeds of faith and prosperity. And as you make moves to impact the world and serve multiple generations, fear and doubt starts to set in. And it seems like that pit just gets louder and louder, as if somebody just using a bullhorn to just, say, you just hear these voices through this bullhorn that, try to keep you stuck and keep you from propelling forward. And as long as we do continue to play small, as long as we do continue to travel on a road of average, or refuse to persevere, or we make excuses, or we refuse, just to move forward, just to get out the pit. Fear and doubt, it don't bother us then. We're comfortable. It's just like bringing those things into those pits that keeps us comfortable. And we don't want to be victims. We have to strive to be survivors, to thrive and not be a victim and have that victim mentality. There are so many times that I look back on my life and I can say, oh, well, my mother was abusing drugs when I was young, very young, or, by the time I was 6, I had already been molested, and use those things to be a victim. But, we have to be, self-aware and not stay in that pity party, move forward with our goals. And so when we do stay in that, I can just see, how the devil just rubbing his hands together, saying that we're going to be stuck. She's going to be right there where she is. She's not determined to make any changes. And I just wanted to let, you all know that there is, there's good news, there's hope, there's faith. God does not give us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and of a sound mind. And he didn't say that we won't face any trials, because we'll be, we will go through trying circumstances. And just going through being sexually abused and having sex in the form of abuse be the first time that I encounter sex, just really impacted my life as far as shame and humiliation and fear and distorted beliefs about myself. Just the guys that I, dated, or not having enough self-esteem or self-worth to get, to really get out of it. And a lot of times for many years, I chose not to deal with the sexual abuse because it was very uncomfortable. And then to deal with, I'd rather just suppress it and keep moving. And I have accomplished a lot of things with still having that mess, but I wasn't whole, and I could not be able to lead or truly influence anyone as broken as I was. And so how do we respond to trials, that seem impossible to overcome in our lives? I truly believe that God has birthed us with spiritual tenacity in our hearts, and we just have to tap into it. It's easy to tap into that spiritual tenacity when we walk with him and we pursue him and his destiny and his purpose for our lives. And the minute that we decide that we're going to walk in our purpose, here comes that fear and doubt again, asking us, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are to reach the masses or to try and help someone overcome the things that are meant to harm them? You're not qualified. You're not educated enough. Your speech isn't good. You've been abused, low self-esteem. Your mother didn't want you. She's addicted to drugs. She can't even get out of prison and fight for you. And so, he tries to make you feel like you're a quitter. The devil tries to suppress that message inside of you. And I can tell you that for many, many years, that message was suppressed. Not only did the devil try to suppress it, I just didn't want that message out. That was the only thing. I had dealt with a lot of issues to get to where I'm at and to go to counseling and knowing that I need to, further my career and my education. But that message, I didn't feel like was for me. But now I know God put that message in me to help other people. And so, I no longer second guess myself, and I don't want you listening to second guess yourself and the message that God has put inside of you. What we think determines who we are, and who we are determines what we think and what we do.
You have to repeat that again. That's good. What we think determines who we are, and who we are determines what we think. Y'all need to hashtag that. Hashtag that right now. Put it out on Twitter. Put it out on Facebook. That's good.
We have to take charge of our thoughts. Our thoughts, they become our emotions, and they affect the way that we feel. They can keep us, stuck in a rut, or, they can help us to propel forward. Our feelings, they affect the decisions and choices that we make. Our thoughts affect the choices that we make. And when, fear and doubt, when they ask you, who do you think you are? I tell them, and you should tell them, whatever it is that your purpose is. I am a woman on the move, set apart by Jesus Christ to build a kingdom, generations. So whatever your purpose is, you have to fight back with that and say, I am. We can change the way that we think, but we can't do this on our own. We can't do it on our own ambition, on our own hustle, on our own knowledge, on our own hard work. We need God, and we need other genuine, supportive people in our lives that's going to help us through, that's going to help us, when we feel down or when we feel like we can't go any longer. We need those people in our corner, and we need God. You are today where your thoughts have brought you, and then you'll be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. So our thoughts determine our destiny, and our destiny determines our legacy. And I love that quote by James Allen, because our destiny, when we look at it, our journey, is really never complete until we're 6 feet under, I believe, because there's always something to do. There's always lives to impact. And so, our destiny is our legacy. So who doesn't want their destiny, their legacy, out there, for their children? And our legacies are built in our home. And so I am creating a legacy, for my children and for, the world. And so I know that in creating that legacy, I know that most of the time that we can't live happily ever after, unless at some point we've gone through some type of trial, so that we can know how to overcome and how to be tenacious and how to be determined to move past that trial. We face adversity, we face loss, pain, disappointment, lack, and poverty, and we have to propel forward with God's design for our life. Trials produce a faith that results in tenacity. So
that's good. Trials produce a faith that results in tenacity.
Yes.
I like that. Okay, we need to tweak that. Get that out on social media. Trials produce a faith in tenacity. I like that. So, Luquette, so as you're speaking, so what about that person who, for whatever reason, just don't have that determination? Because in our society today, we have a lot of people, and I'm just going to say it, they're just lazy. They want what they want, but they're not willing to work for it. They're not willing to stick it out. They're not willing to be tenacious. So what would you speak to them and say?
I would tell them that they have to get real with themselves. Nothing is handed to you, and so you have to go get it. And if you're not real with yourself, because we have to develop ourselves to be effective. So it's not gonna fall on your lap. You have to go get it. You have to persevere. You have to overcome. And so getting real with yourself means identifying some things that you need to work on within yourself, the being part, identifying those things that you need to work on in order to have those things that you desire. Sometimes they're lazy, or they're dealing with some issues. Sometimes I think, say forgiveness. Some people are so just bitter, or have things that they need to release. Maybe they need to forgive someone. And, forgiveness doesn't mean that you are being passive. Forgiveness is power. And so release those things and allow God to change the way that you look at the entire situation. Sometimes people are lazy because they have that self-pity of what has happened to them in their past. And so, like I said, God can change the way that we look at our situations and help us to get real with ourselves and self-examine ourselves.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And that is so true. That is so true. And that is where our change come from. Our change come from our own obedience to his will. Our change come from us growing that relationship with him. It's not about ask, 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 I want. It's really about seeking his direction, seeking his guidance in our life. And then we stepping forward and just making that step and taking that risk and getting it done. And so when I think about Tenacious and just the power behind it, because when you are determined about something, man, there's so much energy behind it. There's so much power behind it. You're not worried about anything. You're not allowing anything to stop you. You don't care what happens. You are so focused and so in tune with the route and the journey that you on that you forget about the other stuff over here. And it's not intentional. It's just that you're so focused. And so that's one of the reasons why I like the word tenacious. And it kind of butt up to my word that I love, which is being intentional. You have to be intentional. You can't just go around and do things for the sake of doing things. It's what you're gonna be determined. You're gonna be determined, doggone it, and you're gonna get it done. And so I do appreciate all the points that you shared with us. So I want to close us out with a couple of things. One of it is I want to invite everybody to go ahead and drop on over to the Facebook group. I am P.A.T.E.N.T, IAMPATENTD. Drop it to the Facebook group. Go ahead. I'll let you in. Just go ahead. Let me know you want to get in and I'll let you in. All of the speakers are going to be over there to engage with you and to just um, walk with you along the journey that you're on at whatever you are, in whatever space you are. But as we begin to wrap this up and as we begin to bring this to a close, I want to talk about just going back and just letting people know. A lot of times we think nobody cares, or we think nobody understands, or we think nobody understands how hard it is for me. But listen, you have right here before you a young lady who in her bio said, look, she was homeless, she was abandoned. Okay. Do you understand? As a child, when you are abandoned, that means there's no parent there to take care of you. There's no one there to go to the grocery store and buy groceries and bring home and feed you. There's no one there to make sure the water bill is paid so that you can take a hot bath. You understand what I'm saying? Or shampoo your hair or brush your teeth. The basic things that we need in our life, she did not have. I don't know anyone else who has that much determination. And so as we close, I want you to speak to that. I want you to speak to and give them an encouraging word why they can do it, why they can move forward.
Rhonda, you have to fight for your dream. If you're not fighting, it's not a dream. It's just a nap. You're sleepwalking. And you can't go around sleepwalking and taking a nap and because that won't propel you into your greatness. And so there's no such thing as overnight success. And I've been there like failing, stumbling, and not seeing the vision, but not knowing how to get to the vision. And you have to go round and round sometimes. Sometimes you may have to even go all 12 rounds. You have to get your hands dirty. You have to throw some elbows. You have to even have a scuffle sometimes, but you don't back down. You don't back down from the fight. You have to have that fighter faith. You have to, establish, what that title is that you believe in, and ask yourself, what title do I believe in? So regardless of the opposition that's manifesting in your life or that has manifested in your life, it's just a matter of time before God's promises become everything that his word said it will be. And so you just have to be bold, you have to believe, and you have to walk in it. because being passive won't get it done. And that's part of being determined. You can't be passive and determined. You're going to have to get it done. You have to be laser focused, tenacious, and have a I'm not going to give up kind of faith. So when you are faithful in a hard place, God can trust you in a high place. And I truly believe you can live with your purpose and enjoy your passion as you continuously step into your greatness of who God has called you to be.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I love it. I love that. That was a great word. I want to thank you for joining us. Thank you for the wisdom. Thank you for the words of encouragement that you shared with all the audience. Hey guys, make sure you jump on over to the Facebook group, I Am P.A.T.E.N.T, IAMPATENTD. Join Luquette there, engage in a conversation with her. She has so much wisdom and so much to share with you. And I want us to be whole. I want us to grow. This is not about me. I can't do this by myself. That's why you've had all these speakers. And so I thank you for joining us today. This is Rhonda A. White. I'm your life and business optimizer, and we will see you online.
Thank you.